perhaps want to highlight. And I'm
Y'all,
curious
this
to
is
know
what an
other
open space
people
session
have
can be
thought
like. Paul's
and
just
what they
started
want
to do
highlight.
this great
So
one
my thought is
on
just
Ted
kind of like,
Lasso
from
as a
having
coach.
watched the
So
show,
I'm going to give you an idea of what it's kind of like.
moments that you thought were particularly interesting from a teamwork standpoint or from a leadership standpoint or things like that. And so just kind of want to
See, have you've watched it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we've been like cautious of like we know that we've each seen the series.
Okay.
But our coworker has not, so we've been trying not to like reveal any spoilers.
Yes.
Or
Okay, and I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the whole thing?
I've seen like everything.
Okay,
So yeah.
all right. So at least there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So we're not going to be revealing anything.
So maybe that'll be important to put on the poster of like spoilers.
I did actually say that in
that.
the opener, or
Yeah.
in the, as I said, there will be spoilers, right? Because it's like it's not possible to talk about. So, for example, there are parallel journeys
Yes.
that the characters go through.
Yeah.
That I think actually points to some really interesting stuff
Yeah.
that I want to talk about.
Yeah. And then just to be like fully transparent, for Agile Alliance, so people get an idea of what open space sessions can be like, there is a recording going. So
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, this is kind of how it evolves, everybody.
It's you show up and like you saw in the open space rules that hopefully I'm in frame here and looking over my shoulder. You saw in the open space rules, it starts when it starts, and the people who show up, those are the right people. And so even though we're about 10 minutes before the scheduled start time, we're starting because it seems like these are the right people, and we'll catch anybody else up who shows up. So let's see what emerges here for a few minutes.
We're doing Ted Lasso.
See, Paul's already trying to rope in Faye.
I have my own session right now.
Oh, yeah. So competing sessions. Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't meaning to make that a win-lose.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. So are you going to seed us off with an example?
Oh man, I've got a great example.
Sure, why not? I mean, it starts when it starts. Let's go.
So something that's amazing to me is I'm rewatching the third season right now, and now that I'm rewatching it with somebody who hasn't seen it before. Oh my gosh, the mindfulness aspects of doing something like that, I'm seeing things at a whole nother level. So like from a coaching aspect, where when we talk about the three positions, the coach, the client, and the observer, one big takeaway that I am getting is that this is like being the observer. You know where things are going to go, okay? You've got some idea of that. And so you're seeing it at like these different levels. You're having fun with that show again, even though you know some of the stuff that's going to unfold. But now that you know that, just like, oh, now I have an idea of what the director had in mind when they were starting to put that together.
There's so both Jason Sudeikis and Brendan Hunt, who co-created the show, have a very strong improv background. Like they conceived of this originally back when they were living in Amsterdam as part of an improv troupe called Boom Chicago. And it's very, like, one of the fun things for me as an improviser was watching the stuff that shows up in the third season, and actually just even later on in the show, is reincorporating stuff from early on without overly pointing at it. Like it actually trusts the audience to be smart about it. So like, one of my favorites is there's an episode in late first season or early second season, probably early second season, where Rebecca's mom shows up. And Ted says, I love meeting people's moms. It's like an instruction manual for why they're crazy. And then in the second to last episode, Ted's mom shows up.
Yeah.
And if you remember that, you're like, oh, and of course we then discover where a lot of his trauma came from, like.
Right, especially because you're like initially like, why is she here? Like, what is the thing
Yes.
that has happened that she has traveled this far? Like, when is she going to finally say it? When is she going to spit it out?
Yeah.
Another embedded lesson that's just like transparent to all of us, and is like as a coach, you don't have to have the answers. All you got to do is create the conditions and let people discover things for themselves, which can be really hard for new coaches.
I don't know how this is, I'm coming to this in the moment, because I've never really thought about it this way. But I sort of see some Nate in me, in that. Right, yeah, which is a little like, oh, that doesn't feel good.
Your hair's not going silver.
It's not, although that would be cool. Because Nate wanted more for himself, right? And so Nate realized he wanted to climb a ladder. And what he discovered as he climbed the ladder was that he had to sell out his values and his principles, and the courage that actually it takes to recognize that and remove yourself from what is an unhealthy situation, and as a leader reflecting on your ambition versus your values and how those play with each other. Like that was me in a prior environment. Like I had to leave that
This is the
work
believe session if you want.
to be straight with me.
Yeah, definitely that like realization of like, oh, and now that I've like made it, I'm such a
Well, you
big
can pull a
deal.
chair
Like,
over so long
it's
as you
not
put it back.
everything I thought it was going to
Yes,
be.
yeah.
I especially loved when he's like on a date and it's like he keeps asking for like that front
See,
table at the restaurant.
People
Yes.
people
Like, that
show
is
up.
part of
Whoever shows up
this
are the
my
right
favorite
people.
place,
This is
and
kind
this
of what
where I
open
get
space is like.
special.
It's an
Yes,
emergent
everyone sees.
conversation.
Yeah.
That gives you a
Everyone
little
else
taste
that's
of
bringing
what open space is like from
really
here with a live
under-
session
Yes.
at Agile
Yes.
2023. So I'm going to sign off now so I can participate. Until the next video, be well, stay vibrant.